So January of 2024, Cheryl and her son Sam came to Trinidad to check out the Mitchell collection, the Mitchell Museum, and what all we had in our collection, whether it be paintings or textiles, Native American rugs. Gave them the full tour of our archives in the basement and what we have hanging currently at the museum.
I was looking for a really fun collection that would blend into the rodeo collection, and Mitchell contacted the museum and said, hey, would y'all be interested in partnering with us and letting us use some of your artwork on our product? And they were very agreeable. So I came out in January of 24 and visited the museum and was overwhelmed with all of the paintings and sketches and photography and everything that A.R. Mitchell had, because he's kept every piece since he was a young boy, sketches and notebooks and things like that. So it was a feast for the eyes to come in and look at his expansive work and then to think, how do we interpret that and bring that back to Double D's, which was very easy.
So Arthur Roy Mitchell was born in 1889, just right outside of Trinidad, Colorado. When he was about 8 years old, his family moved into town. As a kid, he kind of had the run of the town. If he ran out of paper, he would draw on the sidewalks. He went to school here in Trinidad until 8th grade, and that was the end of his formal education. So when Mitchell was in his early 20s, he left Trinidad to see the world. He said if he stayed in Trinidad, he would mold, and he just had to get out and had to see the world. And he went to the Pacific Northwest and California, learned about artists like Harvey Dunn, Harold von Schmidt. He worked for publishing companies in their advertising departments. He would do the mock-ups for advertising. And he also wrote and illustrated political cartoons. Between when he started art school in the mid-20s to 1944, he did about 160 pulp Western magazine covers. And we have about 240 original Mitchell paintings here in the museum now.
For me, whenever I first visited the museum, I was really enamored with his cowboys, the really strong-jawed cowboys, but there was something about his strong women that came in, and I thought, you know, that really played into the whole Double D Ranch, that strong, brave woman. And I just loved that whole romance and the strongness of the Rustlers. So I wanted to focus on that dynamic, and then looked at colors from his palette into what I saw as a palette coming out of Europe and picked around that. I was excited to take some of his pieces and almost re-sketch them and put them into repeats. So like whenever you look at our print for the collection, it comes from his work, even though it's not directly from his work. So all that gets incorporated into an overall print and conversational piece.
And the things that Cheryl picked out that she was inspired by were just so wonderful. Some of it are little bitty things that a lot of people wouldn't even notice in his paintings or in the museum, and she found them and just really brought them to life again. Mitchell died in 1977, so to have his art seen by new people now and a whole new generation of fans or collectors is just so exciting for us and fun to see what her creative mind did with Mitchell's creative mind.